If we were in the class, we would greet you good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Now it's so difficult for us to greet you because we don't know actually when you are watching this video. Yeah, children, 10thers, we are in the last chapter of your geography portion. Uh, there is a rumor or maybe a message, but it's not very clear that your portion may be further reduced until we are informed. We are expected to continue with our studies, and in this particular chapter that I am going to discuss with you today is the waste management. There is also, if you have seen in the second time, they have reduced a little bit of portion. However, in this video, while we are dealing with the particular topic waste management, the certain elements we cannot discuss without presupposing some elements too. So therefore, even if it is reduced, still some aspects, some issues we do need to discuss. And it is our customary duty and also request to all of you uh, to remind you again and again, please take care your safety measure. uh, do not take this COVID-19 very lightly, because if it was so light, then obviously our school would have been normal, you and me or all of us would have been meeting in the school. So anyhow, continue staying safe at home and studying from home. Let us continue with the today's topic, waste management. Yeah, as I told you earlier, that this particular chapter, towards the beginning, if you see the syllabus in your book, page number 7, you find that number 12 is the waste management, and the first few aspects, it is a heading like subhead is topic impact of waste accumulation. Impact means maybe the result or consequence, spoilage of landscape, pollution, health hazards, effect on terrestrial, aquatic, freshwater and marine life, etc., etc. This particular portion has been reduced from your syllabus. So we shall not discuss very directly things related to this impact of waste accumulation. Anyways, to proceed with this discussion of this waste management, let us talk about the classification of waste products. Now, you have already studied earlier in previous classes, standard maybe 7, 8, 9, all these classes. There are two types of waste products. One is biodegradable, the other one is non-biodegradable. This is a very much very important topic in your biology. Now, what is biodegradable waste? I know it is a revision, very much a revision, but it is good to remind ourselves what is biodegradable and what is non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste, of course, can be decomposed by bacteria, fungi, and these includes all these organic matters like fruits and vegetable peels, wood, paper, plants. Most of them do not harm the environment, whereas non-biodegradable cannot be decomposed through action of bacteria, fungi, etc. These wastes include plastic, cans, glass. These are harmful for the environment. So one of the basic steps that we have to take in order to manage our waste products, we have to segregate or separate biodegradable and non-biodegradable, these two type of separate things. Now, what are the sources of waste? Sources of waste. Then will you know waste. What are the sources? Well, there are called numerous sources of waste, and nowadays this waste is actually becoming is a big hazard for this modern life. Now, domestic waste, agricultural waste, medical waste, nuclear waste, office and school waste, and of course, don't forget about the big junk here, the industrial waste, and of course, the municipal waste also. Now, for the domestic waste, it is obviously from our kitchen or from our houses. There is a leftover food, peels of fruits and vegetables, plastic, paper, glasses, bottles, and especially nowadays, if here you may not be doing, but in most of the this called big cities and the metropolis, the foods and buying products are becoming online, and when these things are coming online, lots of packets, okay, those extra packets are also becoming a huge amount of waste nowadays. Agricultural waste, you know very well, there will be animal waste, there will be crop residues, leaves, agrochemicals, okay. And then medical waste, there is bandages, plasters, medicines, bottles from hospitals. Then nuclear waste, it becomes very toxic. There's toxic waste from power and chemical plants that have to be really carefully disposed. Office and school waste, lots of paper. There are simply put is called out, lots of, and although we are trying to go paperless work, but still in the office lots of paperwork goes on. So after some time those paper becomes waste. And the other materials like office materials like stationary things, pen, pencil, eraser, and so many other things, cover, files, old files are replaced with the new files, etc, etc. So these are from the office or school waste also. Now industrial waste is a big hazard. There are three types of is called waste: solid, liquid, and gaseous. And municipal waste, lots of building and things go on, so the sand, dust, grit from is called sewers. Roadside waste, and if there are is called new big buildings or roads are being built, you understand there are lots of waste are also there. So in this connection, we have to now think about this is our waste generation, this is how waste is generated, and how are we going to manage, and is it important to manage our waste? So let us talk first about called with a kind of introduction, waste generation and management. Waste is the material which is not required anymore. That is why you call waste. It is thrown away carelessly. And here is the point, it is thrown away carelessly. It has always been a part of the ecosystem because all organisms produce waste. Although humans have been generating waste for ages, the type and the amount of waste has changed nowadays considerably. Varieties of wastes are there. There is a huge challenge for us now called the e-waste, electronic. E-waste is becoming the real hazard nowadays. A densely populated country obviously produces or will be producing more waste than a country with a sparse population. Now, dear children, this is the point to be noted. If we want to keep this planet like a living planet for us and our forthcoming generations, this is the right time, this is the high time to think seriously towards conserving our resources, protecting our environment, and reducing the waste generation or generated. Now, it is in this connection we have to discuss seriously about the waste management. And obviously, to know about the waste management, we should know what are the types of waste, their sources. So, nip in the bud. There is a saying, nip in the bud. Now, for instance, we should not use plastic. There's a big hue and cry going on. But the problem is, if once the generation of what is called production of plastic is stopped, then where is the point of is called using the plastic? So that's why we have to go into the root of the problem. Anyhow, let's continue with this topic. So it is our now becoming challenge and duty to seriously think about to generate to generate less waste, and even if it is called already generated, then how to manage them. There is an urgent need for management of waste, as waste causes pollution, which in turn causes damage to the entire environment. Due to the global pollution, following dangers threaten the survival of the ecosystem. To discuss this chapter, we have a few important terms, and most of this you already know. Like ecosystem is a biological community in which organisms interact with one another and their environment. Very short and brief definition. Industrial waste, obviously the waste which is discarded, the materials which is come out or is a waste generated by the industries and known as industrial waste. Waste, first of all, what is waste? It is anything not of any use and it is discarded carelessly, that is called waste. It's called manufactured. Anything that is converted from the raw material into the finished product, it is scientifically known as manufactured. Okay, so anything that is converted from the raw material into a finished product by using machinery, of course. Organic, that is material derived from the living matter, the leaves, the branches, the bones, cow dung, etc., etc. I'm talking the animal waste. The droppings of animals are all organic matter. Plus is called pesticides. Pesticides are the substances or substance used for destroying insects or pests of plants and animals. Nowadays in the agriculture, pesticides are using in huge amount, and that is becoming a hazard for us, a challenge, whether we could use the organic pesticides. Residue, anything that remains behind, a small amount of anything that remains after the main part has been used, called residue. Now for instance, any kind of crop, like whether it is called rice or wheat, if it is harvested, and after harvesting lots of residue remains there in form of their straw or quite a lot of branches of the plant itself. Degradable, we have already discussed, process of breaking down or to deteriorate chemically, and in this connection we have got biodegradable and non-biodegradable. And then recycling, it is the using of waste materials for making other articles for use. So in fact waste is thrown away, but when we can use that thrown away materials for some other thing to manufacture things, then that process is known as recycling. Incineration is one of the processes which is used to manage the waste. What it is? It is a process in which the waste is burnt under controlled conditions. Burnt. So incineration is a process in which the waste material is burnt. So all kind of waste cannot be burnt. So such some product is called waste. Some waste cannot be burnt by this called, and so therefore there are only few waste which can be burnt in the process of incineration. Let us remind ourselves in the beginning itself the greenhouse effect and greenhouse gases. Now most of you have studied about greenhouse gases, greenhouse effects. What do you understand by greenhouse effect? Do you think greenhouse effect is really hazardous? Well, yes, it is. But remember, without this greenhouse effect, our earth would not have been a dwelling place. It is important to have the greenhouse effect, because it is because of this greenhouse effect our earth has got that amount of temperature which is required for all the living beings to survive. So greenhouse effect itself is very positive. But the way the greenhouse effect is becoming nowadays rapidly changing, rather increasing, that is becoming for us a concern and it's a challenge. Now, what is greenhouse effect? It is the process in which the internal temperature of the earth, internal means on above the surface, okay, around the earth, the surface temperature around the atmospheric temperature is increasing. Why does it increase? You know very well that our earth has got the atmosphere, and in the atmosphere nowadays, especially nowadays, because of the increase of greenhouse gases, they are mainly carbon dioxide and water vapor. The water vapor will be in the atmosphere, it is very good, it is needed for us. But carbon dioxide, the amount of carbon dioxide is supposed to be only 0.03, it will increase and increasing in some places because of various reasons. Now these carbon dioxide and water vapor together and other few extra called greenhouse gases together, making a blanket hole around the earth. Now insolation, what is insolation? It is the rays, okay, it is the rays that is coming from the sun to the earth in the form of insolation. It comes in form of insolation. Insolation is in short wave, so it can very easily penetrate this blanket of greenhouse gases, means there is carbon dioxide, comprising carbon dioxide and water vapor. It can get into, but then when it comes and touches the earth and it gets back to the, it radiates back to the atmosphere, that it comes in the short wave, but that wave changes to long wave, and this long wave cannot penetrate the greenhouse gas blanket. Therefore the heat gets trapped. Point to be noted, till now it is good, it is needed. No other planet in the that is called solar system has got this good thing, that the temperature is getting trapped. Temperature comes, temperature gets radiates, okay. But this is the earth has, because of these greenhouse gases, is getting trapped. Because of that, that optimum temperature which is required for the earth, well, it was managed. Now due to the pollution or many other not good way of waste, managing our waste, whatsoever, many other reasons are there, this trapping of the heat, the amount which was supposed to be minimum, normal or optimum, now it is becoming much more than what is required. And there comes the problem. And there comes the problem, be due to the greenhouse effect, the temperature of the earth is increasing. And this phenomena or this concept or idea is now known as the global warming. The global warming is a warming for us. Let's continue. So by this time I hope you have understood what is called greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect itself is not bad. Greenhouse effect is needed for the earth, for especially for the living being to survive. But it is going to, and it has crossed the limit. It has gone to the extreme, because the trapped temperature within the surface or the within the below the blanket of the greenhouse gases is not optimum. It is beyond optimum, or it is more than required, and that's why we are suffering from now called global warming. So greenhouse effect in general, the sun is the ultimate source of heat and light for the earth, and as we know that the sun is the self-illuminating mass of extremely hot gases that emits its energy as heat rays. The sun's energy travels to the earth as a electromagnetic radiation. This word, please know this phrase, especially the word electromagnetic radiation, because sometimes in a short question they ask you the electromagnetic radiation which is in the short waves. I was talking about the short waves. The solar radiation has no difficulty in passing through this atmosphere because it is short waves. It reaches the Earth's surface. It is absorbed and retained by the Earth and by the objects on its surface. However, this absorbed heat is then radiated, but as long waves, and due to which the outgoing terrestrial radiation, mainly infrared rays. Some of the gases of the Earth's atmosphere act like the glass, or the blanket we said. They are carbon dioxide, water vapor, etc. in the greenhouse. Now due to which the carbon dioxide, water vapor act as greenhouse in the sense that these gases allow the visible light of the sun to reach the surface of the Earth and absorb the outgoing terrestrial radiation, mainly infrared rays, in the form of long waves. Thus, so the conclusion, our atmosphere near the Earth's surface is warmed by long wave radiation. This phenomena, in which the atmosphere near the Earth's surface is heated up due to the trapping of the infrared rays by carbon dioxide and water vapor in the atmosphere, is called the greenhouse effect. Remember, the greenhouse effect has the negative effect because it increases the heat, but basically it is good. It is because of this phenomena, because of this special unique thing that Earth was having or is having, our Earth is having the life to live. But now anything of too much is not good, so increase of heat is becoming too much, it is crossing the limit, is extreme. Therefore greenhouse effect is now becoming negative. Due to this, global warming is given to us. Solar energy is intercepted by Earth. At the same time, Earth radiates energy into the outer space. So incoming and outgoing radiation processes are simultaneously taking place. So the balance between the sun's heat that reaches the Earth's surface and the heat radiated by the Earth into the space determines the temperature at the surface of the Earth. Now, natural gases present in our atmosphere maintain the balance of global temperature, ideal for existence of life. It is only then when this balance, that means the amount of temperature which we are receiving and the amount of temperature we are radiating, there is a surplus, and nowadays this surplus is becoming in the extreme level. So more the surplus, more the global warming. So these were some of the basic things to discuss about the waste management, because ultimately, although the impact of waste management is not part of our syllabus, remember this impact itself is asking us then why to study the waste management. It is all because the waste or in various other resources together is making the global warming, the or you can say the greenhouse effect. So stop them. To stop this greenhouse effect in the extreme level, to tackle the global warming, we have to discuss about the waste management. Now you can see this is a little bit of example. This may be one of the million sites. There are millions of sites like this, and just only one example I am giving you, and just various type of waste are there. One type of waste, you can see that it is here, and we'll be discussing about the waste. So as we said in the beginning, this waste, solid waste, there will be solid waste, liquid waste, gaseous waste. So let's talk about the solid waste. The solid waste are of two types, degradable and non-degradable. That means there can be biodegradable also, non-biodegradable also. Now sources of waste. We said in the beginning also, we shall also say that mainly we shall discuss about all these things. domestic waste, agricultural waste, medical waste, office and school waste, industrial waste, municipal waste, nuclear waste, etc. But we shall be discussing in the next session, in the next video, which is an introduction to the waste management, and we can go little, it is called slowly to understand. I remind you once again, children, that the last two chapters of your geography, that is transport system and waste management, if you study these two chapters well, your second part 2, where you have to attempt 5 questions out of 9, one question is quite sure to get. If you're lucky, you may get even 2 questions. So transport chapter and waste management chapter, these two chapters, please study them well. Till then, till the next video comes, keep yourself safe, stay well, and keep your or practice your social distancing to keep yourself and your family safe from any kind of COVID danger. Wish you all the best and take care.